they're out of timeouts. Mobley launches a three-pointer, nearly banks it in. Young the rebound, and that will do it. The Atlanta Hawks are going back to the playoffs. And they do it with an inspiring comeback on the road, led by Trae Young's 38 points. And a heartbreaking ending to a wonderful season for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
But the one thing about a Cavalier is he always finds a way to shock the world.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
It is electric behind the back.
You know how I feel.
Ricky Rubio, he to go.
Stevens lobs to Love. Love has to unload.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Burrow denied him. White. Rubio directs traffic. Up there. Clock at 2:05. Take down the lane. Bang it down the Dallas. Makes a three. Fires a three. Nails the three.
And letting them know is what we're going to do. Logan.
If that doesn't get you fired up for Cavs Encapsulated Season 2 and Cavs season in general, I don't know what will. What a day. What a day.
2 hours away from tip-off.
Oh, can't wait.
I can't wait. I'm excited. We got the pregame live stream. We got the halftime live stream. Logan's joining us for the pregame. Justin's joining us for the halftime. We're getting everybody involved.
A lot of schedules to work around here.
We're going to have predictions here. We're going to have full season predictions for the first couple of games. We got Justin texting in live. If we text him, he's going to text back.
He
already said, shout out, Justin. Here we go. The Cleveland Cavaliers in Toronto tonight against the Toronto Raptors. Logan, we're not going to take too much time here, but let's start with the full season. How are you feeling? We got 82 games. What are you thinking for the full season? Let's give finalized record predictions right here and right
out of the
now.
gate.
Out of the gate.
All right.
Not messing around.
So before I get to my record, this is what I'm going to say. This is a exciting season for all of Cleveland, for Jeffrey, for me, for Justin, especially. Worldwide, people are starting to really get invested in the Cleveland Cavaliers. All the people that watched them on NBA TV on a rare Tuesday evening last year are excited to watch them on some nationally televised games this year. Really follow this team when you have, the players that we do now. But here's the thing. Other teams know it as well. And these other teams are going to be looking at us as a real threat, and they're going to be playing their best basketball. We have to keep that in mind with every prediction we make. In fact, last year, I think I ran away with the predictions score.
Yes,
but I think this year's harder to predict in a way because it's like, because the first 10 games, I think we're all going to be under 500, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be, how much are we going to let our prediction based on the fact of who we have versus what could actually happen, what needs to happen, what gelling needs to occur for this team to be who they are. With that being said, I'm going to lock us in at 51-31, and I'm going to say that's good enough for 5th in the Eastern Conference. I think it's going to be much like last year, a tight Eastern Conference. I think 55 wins, 57 wins could be the top of the conference, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that means we have some really good basketball to play this year on this side in the Eastern Conference. So I kind of like the Cavaliers getting to that 50-win mark, but, kind of a few games back of first, second place, I think it's totally possible. I don't know if it will happen. I could see us winning 47-49 games as well, but I'm going to stay optimistic, yet realistic, and I think it's realistic enough, 51 wins with the Cavaliers this season.
Well, for reference, Justin texts in, he says 52-30. is his prediction. So you guys are 1 game difference.
Yep.
Now, should I be on the more realistic side, or
Make it
should
interesting.
I be on the interesting side? Okay, so let me.
You're going like 47, I bet 48.
No.
Okay.
No. Let me think here. I'm gonna say 82 games. I'm gonna say 55 wins and 27 losses. 55 and 27.
And you could be entirely right. If this all comes together, this team is going to be tough to beat 4 times in a playoff. I'll tell you that much. And this team's going to be tough to beat on a nightly basis. If they can find the potential that's currently here, do I think there's still some pieces missing? Sort of, but for the most part, a lot of the questions have been answered. So I could see 55 wins. I
mean, it's a lot of wins. Obviously, it's a lot of wins, but I think 50 is a lot anyway. So it's like if you catch a couple teams, snoozing a couple of nights, which you obviously will. The schedule is difficult. We're going to get into game time predictions as far as tonight's game. Actually, right now, that's where we're going next, because that's might as well keep the predictions going. And I'm going to kick it off.
Okay,
I got us winning tonight. Homer move, and I think it's going to be a real tough game to win in Toronto. Obviously, we're well aware of the Toronto Raptors. They have Van Fleet, Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Siakam, rounding out their starting 5. Our next topic is going to be who's going to be our starting 5, because we don't really know, but their starting 5's competent. It's another battle between Mobley and Scotty Barnes. What more can you ask for? But I got us starting 1-0. I like Garland and Mitchell better than Van Vliet and Trent. Like that's it for me.
Right.
Really,
no,
it is.
That's the advantage for sure. When it comes to me, these first 2 games, you have Toronto and Chicago, both away games, both tough places to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think a couple of weeks ago I said 2-0 confidently, and I don't really know, but I think one of these games will probably end up dropping. But I think there's more on the line in this first game. Yeah, first game of the season, there's stuff on the line.
This is interesting.
To me, I think the Cavaliers are a little pissed off watching the Raptors go on that run to take what should have been their spot last season. I think Evan Mobley's a little pissed off that Scotty Barnes came in and stole the Rookie of the Year award from him. So the way I'm looking at it is I think the Cavaliers have to play angry tonight. They have to play together, but I think they have to have that little bit of that chip on their shoulder. Like, no, we're going to prove to you that we should have been in last year. Granted, it's a different team. You have Donovan Mitchell. It's easier to say that. But
it could be a statement game. It's a good way to start.
Right. And that's why I think tonight the Cavaliers might just be a little more ready than the Raptors. I think Toronto might disappoint a little bit this season. They're a surprise story last year, but I think they could end up only winning like 45 games this year, which in the Eastern Conference isn't a bad number. It isn't right now. But I just kind of think that, people have this high hopes for the Raptors jumping in that 50-win club maybe. They could be one of those top 6 teams. I don't think they're better than us. I just don't think they are.
No,
They have the advantage tonight being at home. We got to go to them. But, let's do it. I think the Cavaliers are ready for game 1.
I totally agree. I think that, typical on paper talk, which that's why I'm happy the season's here. I'm done with the on paper talk.
Right. Let's see it.
It's Cavalier Podcast in the chat. Shout out to the guys over there, Mac and Corey. We're going to have a halftime live stream. So if you guys are watching, if you're free,
I won't be there. So we need some people to come on.
We're going to have the halftime live stream open. We're going to have the StreamYard. We're going to have the broadcast open for people who want to join. The link will be in the description. Just putting that out there. Mac, if you're listening, whoever may be out there that wants to join. Bebo, what's up? Logan, let's hope there's no Cavs killers on the Raptors.
Wait, let me think about it.
Who's going to go for 40? Anybody?
I think I like Gary Trent Jr. going for 29
he'll probably
tonight.
have 6. He'll probably have 7, 8 threes.
I like him going for 7 of 9 from deep. Yeah. I think that's kind of what I'm looking at with
free
Gary
throws.
Is there any of the Cavalier killers on there? I think Siakam doesn't really scare me. Barnes, I think Mobley's better. No,
not really.
Van Vliet, I used to call him a Cavalier killer because I really thought he was a nobody. And then I just started to respect him more and more. And now he's one of my favorite players in the league. He's not exactly – what's up, Justin? He's not exactly, a Cavalier killer to me anymore by my definition.
I think it's interesting how you said that one of the first 2 games we're going to drop, because for reasons we're going to talk about, not today, but tomorrow in the recap and before the Bulls game, I got us beating Chicago as the first 4 games. That's the personalized guarantee game. I got us winning.
Guarantee.
We're not losing that game in Chicago. Write that one up right now. They got injuries. We'll talk about it. Whatever.
Can you remind me of the injuries? You have Lonzo Ball out.
Levine isn't playing already tonight.
Now that could change my prediction.
It could, but I mean, it's knee management like that. That's not a good sign. And just scheduling, that's a big scheduling thing for me. They're coming
That's
off
usually
a
not a
back-to-back.
one-game thing. That's usually a 3 to 4 game thing, I would
Correct.
think.
Justin, couple hours. Here we go, baby. But they're starting. Toronto starting 5. So all 3 of us is predicting a win.
Yep.
Not to skip over Justin, but I have my Google Doc ready. Logan has the Cavs winning. Justin has the Cavs winning. I have the Cavs winning. So you know what that means. Reverse sweep is inbound. We probably just jinxed them to the nth degree. Wouldn't it be nice to come out and win this game by like 20 though? Like they never
really
had a
nice.
chance. Like, yeah, we're here.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that way, but
No,
it would
I don't
be
think so.
nice. It would be a pleasant surprise. Who's going to contribute? And most importantly, who's going to start at the 3? Before they tweet out the lineup, I need the last prediction of the offseason.
It's the X factor, Isaac Okoro. He's going to be starting at the 3 tonight, and to me, he is the X factor. You know, I read that that article about him improving his 3-point shooting. I'm like, yeah, we all say that.
Right.
But I texted you guys when I was watching the highlights. I was like, wait a minute, there's a bit more arc on that shot.
It's a little different.
You know, wait a minute, it doesn't look as broken as it did last year. I think if Okoro is going to be making 35% of his threes, and he's going to be playing defense. We always knew he could get to the rim. It was about finishing. And, you know, obviously it's preseason. Obviously we haven't actually seen them step in a real game. But I think if Isaac Okoro is even, you know, if he's even, you know, a bit better than last year, I think it would do wonders for the Cavaliers if he can really step up his game. He's the X factor. That's why I put him at the 3, because he needs time to really grow with the starting 5 and play those meaningful minutes.
Justin, if you're still out there, send it in the chat. Who's going to start at the 3? Honestly, I'm just going to keep it weird all pregame live stream. And I know this isn't going to happen, but I know who that is. Do we see what happens if Kevin Love's in the starting lineup tonight?
No.
Why?
Why? We're going backwards.
Why not?
We're going backwards. We're going backwards.
I don't know.
Kevin Love found his role last year. It was a good role.
I know.
for him.
I know. Okay, truthfully, I think it's going to be Dean Wade, but I don't really care who it is at this point, as long as they. At the end of the day, I got LeVert playing more minutes than Okoro and Wade, regardless of who starts. So it don't matter to me. I've always said that.
Agreed,
I like LeVert to start. That's a hot take around here, and I don't think it's going to happen, but we're going to see. And Kevin Love start, that'd just be hilarious to me. That'd just be great. Logan, we have some interesting developments over on the Twitter that me and you are going to be privy to. So if you go over to, if you're out there watching, before I get it up on the screen, let's head over to the Cavs Twitter account, where they just within the last hour tweeted these 4 graphics out, and I'm going to throw it on the screen right now. So I don't know if they've ever done this. I'm sure they have, and maybe I just have missed it, or it hasn't been that much of a contention because we haven't followed uniforms that closely. But they tweeted out what games we're going to be wearing what uniforms: the white, the red, and the statement uniform, which we have not seen. Right? We have seen leaks, but they haven't said official words about it. The first thing on the statement uniform sheet is tonight. So they're wearing the new uniforms in Toronto that nobody's seen tonight.
Well, didn't Boston drop their statement uniform like a day before, maybe?
And they wore them yesterday.
They wore them last night, and it worked.
Those are nice.
Those are really nice.
Those are hard. So
is that supposed to be a preview? Is it a black uniform? Are you sure statement uniform isn't our black uniform?
I don't think so. Maybe it is, but I mean, their Twitter's being weird because see, look, maybe it is our. I don't know. Have they released pictures of it? I feel like it is,
because now it's like they have, like, instead of home, away, and alternate, it's like association, statement, and city. And we haven't seen the city edition, I think. But I could be wrong about that.
Maybe, but then they tweeted under it, ready to make a statement tonight with a winking face. So I don't know. Is it is the city, like, is the city the black one? Are we gonna have 2 black uniforms? Maybe I'm just reading too much into that. But they're tweeting interesting stuff over there. But the statement could be the black one.
Now.
I just don't get why we haven't even seen anything of hasn't every other team released their city edition uniforms yet?
I mean, we said that before with Boston and stuff. Okay, so the I'm looking right now.
Or maybe they're going to put them on sale tonight because aren't those ones not on? Nothing's on their website besides the.
Hello. Did Jeffrey disappear from the stream right now? All right.
I keep doing.
Hey, I was like, dude.
I did that with Justin.
Scared the hell out of me.
I keep scrolling on my mouse, and if I scroll like to the left on the Apple mouse, it's like the back motion. Like it was if you hit the back arrow, it takes me out of the studio.
The black is their statement uniform.
Okay, so we're
False
wearing black
alarm.
tonight in
But
Toronto.
I like that.
Maybe they'll put them on sale to order because I'd like to order a jersey that's not the only one on their website.
Right.
But
wine is icon and association is white. Just so you know.
Okay. So that's interesting. But we have every game for the year and what we're going to be wearing as far as those three. But I guess they're going to put that schedule out, and then we're going to have to like figure out what games aren't on there for the city edition. I don't know. Their Twitter's being weird, but it's a good day to be weird. We got Cavs basketball back today, 7:30 tip. It's probably not going to start at 7:30.
Congrats to the Guards on a great season, by
Congrats
the way.
to the Guards, but I was ready to tweet out that hype video so bad.
I know.
Honestly, there's just a point to the Guards where with that, you kind of know it's going to happen, especially when you're playing the Yankees and just all the nonsense that happened there. I just hope we don't get any of that bad.
It's Cavs season
mojo.
now, baby.
It's Cavs season now. The Browns are uncompetitive, so it's basically the Cavs. All right, 20 minutes in. What else should we talk about? Should we talk about?
Is there another game we need to predict?
Well, I mean, I think what's your availability tomorrow? I'm thinking we could get involved tomorrow for the rest of the other three games. Justin, spoiler alert, has us going 4-0 off the rip. Already
4-0.
submitted that. So I have that in the doc. He said we're going to beat Toronto in Toronto, beat Chicago in Chicago, beat the Wizards on opening night, and beat the Magic. So he has us starting 4-0. That's pretty good.
I think they could. I certainly think they could.
I think they could do anything, really. I mean, you'd
That's-
hope
that's
not to
hard
be
to
1
predict,
and
is we
3.
could
You'd hope
beat
to
any
win
team.
2. You'd hope to win 2 out of 4.
Right. Are we on to Chicago yet? Did I predict Chicago? You said guarantee Chicago win.
Well, yeah, I'm guaranteeing that for a multitude of reasons.
So the other people that Chicago have, you have Vucevic. We'll see if Levine plays. DeRozan. Ayo Dosunmu is an underrated player, and I think he's sort of a Cavalier killer, just sort of. What do you plan on making an Isaac Okoro?
See, it'd be funny if there was an Isaac Okoro fan page because nobody would suspect it to be me. So you kind of just gave me a good idea.
Yeah, that's true.
It's easy to make a fan page out of anybody. It's just show their highlights. It's the NBA. Like
Jeffrey,
obviously,
are you going 4-0?
No,
you're not. Okay.
No, I have us with 1 loss.
But you do have us going 2-0. You have Washington beating us?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is.
I have us dropping the home opener. That's a Cleveland thing to do.
You know, I'll take a shot. I originally said we'll drop one of the two, but I'm gonna stick with my original prediction. We're starting 2-0. If Levine doesn't play, we're definitely starting 2-0. But yeah, I'm like Chicago really mortgaged their future for a play-in team. They did though. Yeah.
They went the Browns approach. They tried to fix big holes with mediocre players. Lonzo, I mean, he fixes a mediocre hole. They probably had a bigger hole than that at whatever point guard. Same way with someone like Levine, never going to be an upper echelon player in the league, for the most part. I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing the guy, but they have injuries now. Both of them are potentially not going to play against us. So that's kind of a bad start to your season when 2 of your starters are already down. We dealt with that at the end of last season. To wrap up, Logan, what are the keys? I need Logan's keys to victories tonight.
Keys to the victory tonight. Okay. Well, like it is most times you go to Toronto, you have to establish early, right? When it comes to Toronto, if they start hot and that fan base gets involved, it's tough to recover. It always is. I think tonight the big keys is Mitchell's debut.
Okay.
First of all, you can't lose sight of the game at hand, right? It's Mitchell's big debut. Oh, the Cavaliers are now these powerhouses in the Eastern Conference, and you can't play like you are, right? So I think at the beginning, you need to establish early that ball movement. That's what we did last year. So when we had Rubio off that bench, we were getting assists out of our butt, just like dozens and dozens of assists a game constantly when we had that ball movement going. I really think the bench, who's leading that bench, right? Is it Levert? Is it Love? And if it's, and who's the one actually running the offense, right? I mean, obviously, I think you can have Mitchell or Garland still out there with Levert. But I think what it's going to come down to tonight, second unit needs to be strong and get off to a strong start. I think everything else will kind of play out. I think everything else we have the advantage in for the most part against Toronto. But if you let that crowd get going, if your bench isn't consistent, if you aren't knocking down the timely shots that you have to, keep them on your hip enough, Toronto will come back and win this game. So start hot and let the bench take over from there.
So we got establish early, move the ball, bench consistency. I think that's all fair points. That's the analysis coming out from inside of you, because that's just how we look at these games. Honestly,
Yeah.
That's Toronto's a good point. They are adamant about Raptors basketball up there. It's a good city to play for as far as the fans. I think.
Certainly,
I think as Cavalier fans, we have decent amount of respect for Toronto just because of
We
how
do,
much we've seen them in the postseason. Even though we have kind of
I was
them.
happy for them in 2018. I mean, obviously they beat.
Oh,
the
for
Warriors, so that was
sure.
even better. But I was really happy for
that.
The country of Canada and Toronto.
Outside
itself.
of the 16 championship, that's been my favorite team to win it in the last 10 years.
Well, yeah, and we beat them so many times, and they had so many promising teams, and every time we played them, I was like, I'm sorry, we have to do this to you again, because they just did not match up well with LeBron James. They just didn't.
We're gonna be all
so.
over
I was really happy
LeBron.
for them, but I'm not a Raptors fan tonight. I want to kick their ass.
Yep.
I really want to establish early that we're a real player here in the Eastern Conference. We're not just a lot of big names.
And that would, with a convincing victory, would be a good start. Put people on notice.
Certainly.
I agree with you with the ball movement. We do not need these stagnant offensive possessions where the ball is in one person's hands, regardless of who it may be. I think something to look at, maybe not a key to victory, is tangible leap from Mobley as far as the offseason. You could say the same thing about Okoro. Do they look like they've taken the next step? I know it's game one, but what are they doing differently? What are the players doing differently from last year to this first game, if anything at all? Keep an eye on that and really just play defense. Just keep your identity from last year. You have a different roster slightly. Just keep your identity from last year. Play defense first. Your offense is going to come. I think a lot of fans don't want to accept that, and they are tired of hearing about, the offense is going to come, because at some points last year it didn't. So that got frustrating, but the offense is going to come on this team. Defend early and use your defense into the offense. Exactly what we did last year as far as some of our best performances.
Exactly right. I mean, this is one of those games I'm not confident saying win. I'm really not. It's more
tough to win on the road.
It's more like just me being fired up, right? I want to beat these guys, and I'm letting my emotions of how bad I want to beat them determine what could happen. I do think Toronto could easily, win this game. And not easily, but I think, we got Justin. Let's get him here. I'd say key to the game is defense. We need our two big men to be even better from last year, and the guards got to force the ball into the key or dribble inside the three-point arc. I agree. Sure. These Raptors will throw it up. They will fire threes. Van Fleet's not afraid. Gary Trent Jr. is not afraid. I think Scotty Barnes probably extended his range a little bit. Siakam, I think Siakam is kind of the key, right? If he's not playing totally right, their offense kind of gets discombobulated a little bit. Mm-hmm. If he's getting what he wants, then the Toronto is a really tough team to beat. But now that we have Mobley sitting on him, we have Mitchell to counteract, Garland and Mitchell to counteract whatever production they get from their backcourt. Everything else, all the advantages are pointing towards the Cavaliers in this game purely on paper. That's why I got to step before the four lines and see what happens.
So true. A lot of good points. Justin's here virtually. For everyone in the chat, we appreciate it. Just a 25-minute, quick one here. We're going to be live for halftime. So watch the first half, stay involved, keep your eyes locked on the screen, and then come over to our YouTube channel. You know us. You know the Cleveland Pulse. Tune in. Justin's going to be joining us for halftime. And you know what? There's a lot of things that can happen tonight. We're just happy to have Cavs basketball back. And I mean, this is just, I think this is what's going to be my thing for the rest of the night. Ready to make a statement.
So let's freaking do it.
Let's follow the admin's lead with the winky face. I mean, I like it. It's a nice little ominous treat before this game. Be locked into their Twitter. See who they tweet out, who's going to be the starting three, because nobody really knows. You don't know yet. So some storylines to follow. We'll be with you at halftime. We'll be with you with more content coming tomorrow in the future. And before we see you again in a couple of short hours here, make sure you do one thing and one thing only, and you make sure to let them know.